This is Saturday, March 11th. There are 130 days until San Diego Comic-Con 2017. Welcome to SDConCast, the official podcast of the San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog.
Put your hands up!
That was a mess. There we go. Well, YouTube Live went up on my other screen there. Hey, welcome. Good morning. I'm your host, James Riley. This is the first one of the year, so you can expect things like that. Joining me on the podcast today is, as usual, Carrie Dixon.
Hey, everybody.
And also joining us this morning, Ben Kucharski.
Hey, guys.
All right, so this is, as I mentioned, the first podcast of 2017, or as we call it around here now, Season 6 of SDCast. We'll be doing a few episodes. Yeah, it's crazy, right? We'll be doing a few more specials over the next 2 months, Open Reg, hotel sales, WonderCon wrap-up. Then we'll get started on the weekly podcasts at the beginning of May, and then we'll run straight through until Comic-Con in July. To ask us questions, it is easiest to tweet us at SD_comic_con, or just use the hashtag SDConCast if you have any questions. We'll be keeping an eye on the YouTube live chat, but that thing will probably run a little faster than we can keep up while we're going here. So if you have a question, it's definitely easiest to tweet us. That's about it.
I do want to warn, we are getting a lot of tweets, so if we don't see your question, please feel free to ask it again. So yeah. This is always a fun juggling game of how many windows can Carrie and James look at at one time.
Yeah, and if you want it to be seen a little easier, you definitely use the hashtag SDConCast because that will be used less than just for regular questions.
Yes. So obviously today is a big badge sale day. Today is returning registration, which is the sale formerly known as pre-registration, and hopefully everyone watching this knows all of that already. Things got kicked off here about 35 minutes ago when the waiting room opened. We still have another 25 minutes before they'll actually start sorting us into whatever it is they sort us into Cheerios, I guess you could say. But so far, it seems like it's going fairly well. We are getting a lot of reports of people who have been kicked out of the waiting room, or I saw one person who said that it keeps warning them not to refresh, even though they haven't. Those kind of errors seem to happen every year, and it does seem a little bit more so than usual. But yeah, sorry. We really don't know why it's happening. Hopefully it will stop. The good news though is, here's what you need to know. Your registration code, you need to make sure that you're not logged into multiple places with it. So if it's just you and you only have one registration code, you can't be like logged into Twitter, Chrome, your one laptop and then another laptop. Only register your code once. However, if you do get kicked out, in that instance, you can use your code again. Basically, what it does is every time you enter your code again, it's going to deauthorize your earlier login. And so that's why they say, like, don't share your code, don't log in multiple places. If you are family or friends who have more than one code, in that instance, then you can do one login per browser. So if you have two codes, you can do one on Firefox, one on Chrome, but you can't do like two browsers within Chrome. You can't do that kind of thing. So make sure you're not doing any of that if you are having any of these issues. I've been talking to several of them, and it doesn't sound like that's what's going on. So hopefully those folks get it resolved soon. I do want to also mention, even if you get kicked out of the waiting room after 9 a.m., after everything gets started, if you re-enter your code then just to get back into the waiting room, it's not going to make you lose your place in line. You're actually going to be just fine. So that's my spiel on logging in.
Yay.
Yay.
Twitter's moving so fast. Of course it is, though.
So what questions do we have, James? Have we seen anything?
Nothing yet. No, everyone's basically like, Okay. It's going okay so far. We have a few, like I said, you had a few people saying that there was problems, but no real questions. I think we're not going to get a massive amount of questions beyond the usual. Can I purchase for someone who wasn't attending last year? No.
No.
That will be an open reg.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about that. James, how many people can you purchase for today?
You can buy for 3 people.
And does that include yourself?
That includes yourself if you want to.
And if you don't want to purchase for yourself, what do you do when you get to the screen when it asks for your member ID?
You put in the member ID of the first person you're buying for. You do not enter your own.
Correct. And this is especially important for people who are working in like large buying groups, because let's say like you've got 5 friends, okay, and you're all trying for badges today. If one person gets through and purchases badges for 3 of you, and that includes you, and then you make it through and you want to purchase for the other 2 people, if you enter in your own member ID because you already have a badge, it's going to see, well, you don't need a badge, and kick you right back out. So you're not going to be able to purchase for those other 2 people. So it's really important that you actually enter the member ID of the person you're purchasing for. And it's also important that your group communicates. Because again, if you enter a member ID for somebody who already has a badge, you're not going to be able to purchase for anybody. So, yeah.
Okay, so Carrie, on that subject, and I know that this is probably getting too detailed, like I'm already in the waiting room for myself, and then if somebody purchases for me, my like pending selection, does that become tricky? Does that make sense?
Kind of. One more time.
So like if I'm logged into the waiting room now, like I am,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my people is chosen before me and is able to purchase for me, does that mess up my pending ability to purchase?
No. So basically your registration code in this instance is not tied into the member ID that you have to purchase a badge for. So this is what I was just kind of saying.
Gotcha.
So it's not going to invalidate your waiting room session. However, when you get to the screen, it'll ask you for 2 things. It'll ask you for a member ID and a last name to start off with. It won't, this is before it'll show you like badge types. It'll just ask for those 2 things. You need to not enter your own information because you already have a badge. You need to enter in the information for whoever it is you're waiting to still purchase for.
Gotcha.
So let's see here.
I have a question. At Danielle GZZC on Twitter asks, what odds do I have of getting a badge today? Percentage speaking. The percentage is, we figured out that it's probably 50%.
So yeah, so here's basically the way that we do this math. So there's 130,000 attendees to Comic-Con. Not all of those are going to be general attendees. There's all kinds of other groups included in that. We assume press, volunteer, professionals, panelists, just all kinds of different people. So we figure that there's roughly, like, let's say 110,000 badges total that go to general attendees. And again, this is just kind of a rough estimate. We don't know that these numbers are exact, but we do think that both returning registration and open registration have roughly the same amount of badges available. I mean, it may be 40, 60, but because typically the badge sales take the same amount of time to sell out, because a couple of years ago they sent out a survey that asked about like what percentage should each group get, we think it's about 50-50. So if you assume that, then let's say we've got half of 110,000 badges up today. If everybody who tried last year tries to purchase a badge today, you've got about a 50% chance. So that's how we got those numbers. They're not exact, but that's about the best we're gonna do because only Comic-Con International knows for sure.
I feel good about that number.
It's a much better number than open registration. Although no one has ever really like said exactly how many people try an open registration. Epic Registration a couple years ago, back before they were Expo Logic, said that They test for up to 1 million people in the waiting room at a time.
Wow.
So
Had 900,000 hits in the first minute on the landing page.
So that's something like 5 to 10% odds.
Yeah,
it's like 6% is what we estimate. So you've got a much better chance today, but if you don't get a badge today, the good news is you are still eligible for open registration. So it's kind of like you get 2 tries to get a badge. And I also want to mention today, if there's any kind of badge types that you don't get that you wanted, like let's say you wanted all 4 days, but you're only able to get Thursday, Sunday. In open registration, you can still participate and try to add on those extra days. The only possible reason you wouldn't be eligible for open registration is if today you buy all 4 days and preview night, because at that point, there's nothing left for you to buy in open registration. So
there you go.
that's how that works.
Joshua Goodrich on Twitter mentions that you can log into two Chrome browsers if you use private browsing, if you have 2 different reg numbers. You probably can, but again, I'm not sure if you want to risk using the same browser, because they do say using the same browser. I know it's a private browsing and it's a thing, but just in case, I mean, if you only have it working on one browser and the other browsers keep logging you out or whatnot, then it may be the way to go is to use private browsing.
And yeah, and if something's not working on one browser, like you've still got 15 minutes before this thing even kicks off. Like, don't stress about like being like, well, Firefox isn't working, I'm gonna go switch over to Chrome now. Like, it's early enough that it really doesn't matter. And also, I want to mention, even though it says do not refresh this page, and you absolutely should not refresh this page, if, for instance, like your blue spinning circle isn't working, if something isn't working, again, the sale hasn't kicked off yet, go ahead and refresh. Like, it's not gonna screw you up. It's really not.
Yeah, now's the time to do it, not.
Yes, don't do it like after 9. But if something isn't working right now and it's stressing you out, like, just do it. You've got 15 minutes. So.
Yep. Oh wait, let me use this
Nice.
while we were waiting for someone to talk.
Crickets.
So somebody on Twitter just recommended for those people who are having issues where they're getting booted, to disable all their plugins on their browser, and that's actually a pretty good recommendation. You can always turn them back on after the sale, but maybe you've got some funky installed that's messing with everything. I'm not sure.
Now it's just the waiting game.
Isn't it? So yeah, so this is what we mean when we say we're trying to look at so many things. So what have you two talked? Because I've just talked for like 15 minutes.
So I'll go over. If everyone watched last year, I had the blue curtain behind me. So I switched my desk around and I have stuff set up. As you can see, this is all sort of temporary, but my area now looks geeky like you guys with all of your stuff behind you. So I figured there are 15.
Ben's setup always looks the best.
15 minutes. 15 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, thanks, guys. I am in a completely different locale than the last time we did this. I am now living in Portland, so this is different than it was, but looks similar.
It's just another wall of pops.
It's just another wall of pops.
That's okay. So let's talk real quick about the timelines here for badge sales. So obviously today is returning registration. The next badge sale, it sounds like, is probably going to be professional registration, or at least we should be getting some more information about professional registration in late March. I have a feeling that it'll probably go up in late March, but they said look for more information then. Beyond that, we've still got volunteers, which is supposed to take place at some point in April. And then open registration, which mid-April. Now, I didn't even back for that, but if you look at the April 1st, WonderCon's going on. Very, very confident of saying there's absolutely no way a badge sale will take place that Saturday. The 8th seems fairly likely. And then there's the 15th. Easter is technically the 16th, which I know James thinks means it won't be there. But they've also had WonderCon like for several years on Easter. So I feel like their people are kind of used to working on Easter. So I wouldn't totally rule out the 15th, but James would. So I think we're probably looking at the 8th or the 15th with a little more preference to the 8th. What do you think, James?
I think that they should do it the earlier day, the 8th, mainly because they also then need to get the hotel sale done.
Yes. And I've actually I don't have any news about like timeline for hotel sales, but I do want to talk about in a little bit some changes to the vendor hotel sales that happened this year that have me very concerned. But when don't hotel sales have me concerned? So, looking at the comments, puppy. Yes, I have 2 dogs behind me running all around. They keep trying to get their squeaky toy, and I don't let them.
If they wanted to mess with people on the 15th, not only is it tax weekend, but I think
Also true.
To the Star Wars celebration.
Oh God.
15th.
Alberto just asked me if we have any info on Funko Fun Days. No, we really don't have much information on many offsites this year. The main one we do have a little bit of information about is HopCon, which tickets for that will go on sale, I believe, April 21st. But right now, no one even has a badge, so it's a little bit early for most offsites to be announcing some things. So look for all of that kind of stuff. Usually announcements about exclusives and offsites and all that, like you shouldn't even expect anything until May. So
another question, briefly speaking, what's the added value of volunteering? Well, the first added value is you get to go to Comic-Con for the day after you work or before you work your 3 or 4 hour shift. So that I think is the main added value. Is there any other added values?
To volunteering?
Yeah, this is from Daniel, GZZT again.
I mean, it's a good way to give back. You don't have to pay for a badge. You get it free. The next year, you are what they consider a priority volunteer, which means that you kind of get first dibs of returning as a volunteer rather than just a first timer on the interest list. So all of those are good reasons. You're obviously not eligible for pre-registration or returning registration in that case because you're no longer a general attendee. So it's kind of up to you if you want to give that up or not. But there's a lot of good reasons to volunteer.
Yeah, and you can volunteer, and then whatever you get for, if you get badges, then you can kind of supplement, like if you only get 1 or 2 days, or if you know you're volunteering and you're going to get a specific day. I don't know. Can you sign up for a specific day when you volunteer? Or is it just whatever?
I believe you can, but someone in the chat, please correct me. But I'm pretty sure you can.
So if you can, then you would basically just supplement your volunteering with the tickets that you get, or vice versa. Someone asked on Twitter, Mayume, this is my first time registering. Do they always have a topical reference like this? Well, if you're in returning reg, how is it your first time? But yes, they always, that yellow bar always has some kind of nerdy reference.
There was one year though, and maybe it was last year, where like whoever was running it was not in a funny mood. It was just like all serious and.
Oh no, it needs to be funny or else.
Yes. So
a little bit of the stress.
Yes. So congratulations to the 4 people who won the Write Your Own Yellow status bar contest. Little did any of us realize Comic-Con International not only gave them a nice little status bar update on here, but they also gave them free badges to the convention. So they don't even have to participate in returning reds. They don't even get to see their own message.
That is really awesome.
Marco, if we have any on hotel reg and parking.
Parking information is going to be announced late March. That doesn't mean it's going to start late March. It just means they're going to announce it. Hotels will presumably be after open registration, so I think we're looking at mid to late April at this point. We've got a couple of minutes, so I'll talk real quick about the changes to the vendor hotel sale. So the vendor hotels, they get their own hotel, they get their own parking sales. They don't go through what we go through, but they do, for hotels, they do work with OnPeak. And this year, things worked a little differently. They basically made them, they had to rank their top 3 hotels downtown, their top 3 hotels in Mission Valley, and then their top 3 other hotels. And then they had to rank which tier they wanted in what order. So I have a feeling that change is going to be coming down the line for general attendees as well, for the general hotel sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't totally know how I feel about that, because like, for me, I mean, I don't know. I guess it kind of makes sense. But let's say that you enter 3 downtown hotels, and normally you would be able to enter 4 downtown hotels, and whatever your 4th hotel choice would have been is still open, but because you can't say, I want downtown only, they stick you in Mission Valley because your top 3 downtown were all full. So it's going to be interesting if they decide to go that route. The vendor hotel sale, they got their hotels yesterday. It worked okay. I did hear from 2 separate people that they got assigned more rooms than they requested. And that when one of them complained to CCI, they were told, yeah, this has actually been happening to a lot of people, and we've been kind of yelling at OnPeak about this. But a lot of things happen every year with OnPeak, and what really changes? So
Yeah. I mean, I've had many things happen in pretty much every year's past. It's like a head scratcher, like got a hotel that wasn't on my list, or get like a duplicate email later telling me like, sorry, even though I have a hotel. Like, it's bizarre.
it is bizarre. To me, the worst year is always going to be 2015, which was when we had, the tale of 2 forms. And basically the form didn't work properly for a third of people, and still Comic-Con International and OnPeak just kind of went, oh, well, good enough. I mean, they tried to fix it, but like there was some weird stuff that went on that year. People had roommates assigned to them that they'd never heard of. People had all kinds of weird stuff. Somebody asked, how is the price difference between Hotel Apocalypse versus Early Bird? I don't. My memory is failing me. I feel like that there's no difference in price. It's basically just the main difference is there's no downtown hotels available in Early Bird. So if all you care about is like getting a hotel, getting that rate locked in, you don't care if you're in Mission Valley, Early Bird is a great way to go. And I am really curious to see this year, since everything is so late, if Early Bird happens to be before open registration or if it's after, or if we even have Early Bird this year.
And by default, Mission Valley is pretty much always going to be cheaper than downtown because you're paying for proximity.
Correct. Anywhere other than downtown is always going to be cheaper during Comic-Con. So that's going to be really interesting this year. There are some great hotels down there. There's shuttles that take you to the convention. So not staying downtown is not necessarily like the end of the world. A lot of people like it a lot more. I know Sean Marshall, Parks and Cons, he's on our staff. He always stays downtown because that's kind of what he prefers. Yeah, so good stuff. And don't forget that you can also try for badge contests, because in our chat room, Lord Dragon said that they won the Amazon X-Men Apocalypse sweepstakes, and they get to go for free this year with their hotel and flight covered. So awesome. It does happen. And we've been posting about a couple contests lately. Like we just posted a Buffy one yesterday, and that includes hotel and flight as well. So go enter that. So let's
It's getting
see.
close. It's getting
It
close.
is getting close. So
Michael Morris says that volunteers can volunteer before the con, and then you get a free day during the con without having to spend 3 hours volunteering.
yes, that's also true. Alex Lay asked on Twitter, do you remember how fast tickets sold out last year? 77 minutes. It's been as short as an hour. It's been as long as 3. But that was like early days when something went very wrong. And they even admitted something went wrong that year. So it's usually about an hour to an hour and a half, somewhere there.
Hey, I just remembered. I'm going to go grab my wallet. Credit card, silly things.
So also on Twitter, Daniel GZZC asked, once Comic-Con starts, where can we see you folks? I remember some stickers you were giving. Any stuff you'll be doing? Yes. We will be all over the convention giving away all kinds of stuff. Prize Mule will be back this year. We'll be doing a lot of announcements about all of that and what we have planned for this year a little bit closer. But yes, we will absolutely be all over the convention giving away all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah, that'll be fun.
it will be fun. I'm excited.
Make sure I have a nice big bag of stuff because I tend to just give everything out like when people show up, and I don't play favorites. They're like, all right, you showed up, good, you get something.
I know. You're not a very good prize wheel because you're like, oh, you came second, here, have this other prize I was going to give away.
Now everybody knows, and they'll be like, which one is James? Which one is of the different prize mules?
Yes. So we are about to get started here. So James, you want to tell people a little bit about what's going to happen when the clock strikes 9?
The clock will strike 9 and everything will blow up. No, the page will reset for a moment, I think, and it says, hey, we're sorting everyone. They'll probably make some kind of Harry Potter reference, I would assume. But once they randomize everyone, then they will start letting people into the buying in groups. So it is completely random, and your page will just change to, hey, it's time to buy when it is your turn. The yellow bar, while you're waiting, will give you updates once it gets close to selling out a day or a day is sold out. So every few minutes when it refreshes, you'll see if it's getting close to selling out, which typically Saturday sells out first, then Friday, and then Thursday, and then Sunday.
Yes.
Got it?
That is correct. That's it.
And that's the next hour of your life. Hour and a half.
So it does look like some people are still getting kicked out, which is not great. Lauren Galloway just said that she timed it and she's getting booted at the 2-minute refresh, which is really not good. If you happen to be watching, Lauren, I would try another browser. And like we said earlier, disable all of your plugins and just hope for the best. I know that's not great advice, but that's what we've got. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? Someone likes my pug. This is Bella.
I love your
thing. I had curiosity.
non-famous.
Oh, hold on. Lauren, who's Flippy Floppies, this is her status on the yellow status bar, I think. I am one with the badge, and the badge is one with me. So that's cute.
So I was curious if we were going to see if the people who won the yellow bar contest will have credit on there, so we'll know that it's theirs, so we'll know which is which.
It doesn't appear so, because I'm pretty sure. I was thinking even when I saw this a minute ago that this was Lauren's, but she just said in the chat that this is my status, guys. So I'm pretty sure. And I met Lauren last year. She was lovely, and thank you for asking if I was sad about the Ferris wheel. I still am.
Oh.
Someone asked in the YouTube chat, if we see the spinning blue circle, are we okay? It means your session is still going good. You're okay.
Yeah, there's a couple things that you should look for. You should have the spinning blue circle, and you should also, like, your page should be refreshing every 2 minutes. You should definitely have seen more than one yellow status bar at this point. All of those are really good indicators that you're doing okay. Obviously, like, anything could happen, but yeah.
So while we're waiting for it to flip over here, Michael Morris asks, which is your favorite downtown hotel? So, Carrie?
I've stayed at 2. I've stayed at the Bayfront, which I used to love. But now that I've been to the Omni, I never really want to go anywhere else. What about you?
Ben?
So the Bayfront is amazing, and for people who maybe don't know about these things, even though you are returning, the Bayfront is so ridiculously close to the convention center, and it's very, very affordable. But you're a little far from everything that isn't the convention center, kind of. So
Yeah.
I also would say that I absolutely love the Omni. And last year I was in the Marriott Gaslamp, and that was super convenient and nice.
Yeah, I used to feel like the Bayfront was like so close, but now that I've stayed somewhere else, I'm like, oh, it really wasn't.
It like tricks you, like you can see the convention center, so it counts.
Yeah, but you have to like walk across the bridge to get to the Gaslamp. Don't get me wrong, the Bayfront is a great hotel. And again, there's a million great hotels down there. There's great hotels further out. Like the things that we are saying is our favorite, like may not be your favorite.
Yeah, like just to throw it out there like a tangent, I love the Sophia, and the Sophia is super, or the Bristol. I love the Bristol, and it's like one of the cheapest ones, and it's like 8 blocks away, but like it's cheap. So I mean, like there's some that are amazing for different reasons.
So just remember that I got the message now that do not refresh or open the tab window.
Yep.
We are getting ready to begin, so patience is key. The yellow message box will keep you updated. By the way, my favorite downtown hotel is the one I can get into.
That is the correct response. That's good.
I have stayed at I think I've stayed at, over the years, probably somewhere between 6 and 10 different downtown hotels. So
I probably had 2. I've had very few repeats.
I would prefer if I'm not getting up at stupid o'clock and waiting overnight and stuff, then I would prefer the Embassy because of the awesome breakfast. But otherwise, I think just anywhere I can go.
That's a good response. So we said all of this earlier, but we've got about twice the amount of viewers now, so I'm going to repeat some of it. It took about 77 minutes last year for badges to sell out. Typically, the order that it goes in is usually preview night is always the first thing to go. And then usually it's Saturday, Friday, and then Thursday and Sunday are kind of roughly in that order. If you are working in a badge buying group, or if you were just trying to help somebody else for badges today and you do not care about buying yourself a badge, when you are chosen to be the Cheerio, it's going to ask you to enter a member ID and a last name of a person that you are purchasing for. This does not have to be your own. And if you're working in a large badge buying group and someone else has already bought your badge, if you enter your own information, it's going to kick you out. So you want to make sure that you are entering in the information of the person that you are purchasing for. Again, it's not tied to your registration code. It's not tied to anything. It's just you need to make sure that you are communicating with your group and that that code that you enter is for the person that you wish to purchase for. Again, I'm not seeing anybody getting through with badges yet, so I don't think they've totally kicked things off yet. But real quick, let's talk about timeline one more time. Open registration, which is open to anyone with a member ID, including you today if you do not get all badges that you want, or any badge. That will be early to mid-April. The only way that if you're participating in returning registration today that you will not be eligible for open registration is if you purchase all 4 days and preview night, because in that instance there is nothing left for you to purchase an open registration. So that's what's going on.
That is the thing.
That is the thing. So now, yep. So now starts the fun part of watching Twitter to see when the first person who makes it through with a badge happens.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I don't think it's happened yet.
Don't we usually? Oh yeah. Okay. Well, so now, yeah, I'm still saying the same thing. We're preparing to begin.
Yeah, we are preparing to begin random selection. If you are selected, you will be automatically moved to registration session. Be sure to have your Comic-Con member ID and last name ready. And you also need the Comic-Con member ID and last name of anyone you're purchasing for. You don't need the reg code. You don't need to know their first name. You just need their last name and their member ID.
Remember, this happens every time. They do take up to 10 minutes after, roughly 10 minutes after 9 a.m. to sort everyone and get them ready. So it's not anything different.
Nerds Doing Stuff just said, have confirmation that people are moving in. One of our group is in and purchasing.
All right.
So someone's getting in. So
there you
we're
go.
Starting this. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Kim's friend is in. Okay.
I want to be drinking.
I have a drink. I should be doing more of that.
Do the drink.
I'm still on this page as everyone else. I'm still on your patient's page, so don't worry about it.
So again, you guys talk, and I'm going to look up how fast preview night sold out last year.
SDCC says they're in. So, and Louis Gallagher says, just got my tickets.
Oh my god.
Awesome.
So people are getting in and buying.
Oh, I want good things for other people.
Freak out yet.
And
This
I want
process
good things
goes
for me.
fast, but it's not like seconds.
Oh jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Blue circle, we don't really love you.
So I don't. Oh, go ahead.
So for 2015, it looks like preview night sold out in 23 minutes, and then last year it sold out in, I just had this. Last year it took 39.
Okay,
So
it's been a
again,
while.
yeah. So again, don't stress. We're only at minute 9 right now. So
I think it's interesting to note when we talk about buying groups and whatnot. I have not purchased my own badge in years.
Right?
correct. Yeah. I mean, we say this every year, but unfortunately, I don't know. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, badge buying groups are the main way to get a badge because it totally makes sense. If there's 9 of you, only 3 people have to get through in order to buy a badge for all of you. So it's it increases your odds a whole lot more than if you're just a single person, just trying for yourself, not trying for anybody else. So make friends, or if you don't have friends, there's always Friends of CCI. They do badge buying groups all the time. You can always find people on Twitter. So seeing quite a few people making it through. This is great news.
Yeah. And Comic-Con strangers are just friends you haven't met.
There you go. Okay, so again, we've talked about this a little bit before, but Manuel Ramos asked on Twitter, does buying preview night exclude me from buying badges for friends during regular open registration? Yes, it does. If you buy literally any other combination of badges, so 4 days without preview night, Sunday only, Friday, Saturday, whatever the case may be, you can still participate in open registration. But if you buy all 4 days plus preview night, it's going to look at you and it's going to say, well, you already have all the badge types. You don't need to be a part of this badge sale. And it's not, you won't get a code to do it. So that's how that works.
I want to make some awful joke about people being selfish. Yeah, so don't buy badges for yourself. Don't be selfish.
I haven't had a chance to use these enough. So all the people that have gone in on the first group.
We are slowly moving people to registration sessions to ensure that the system is running efficiently. We will continue to update you here with any changes.
And because we get this question every year, if what we are talking about on our yellow status bar does not match what you were talking about on yours, don't stress. Basically, this page updates every 2 minutes. And so not everybody's page is going to update at the same time. So if you don't see what we're talking about, it does not mean that like your room is broken.
And somebody always gets the breaking news if something is sold out or
Yes.
whatever.
And
Yes.
let's give the reminder that if something starts to go wrong or does go wrong, make sure you screenshot. You might
Yes.
screenshot each step as you go, just in case there is a problem later on and you can't get back.
And make sure you screenshot that confirmation page as well, because as terrifying as it sounds, it doesn't happen often, but occasionally people do get through purchasing and then don't get their confirmation email. So
Yeah.
screenshot.
And I think the Comic-Con folks are reasonable people. If you've got your legit screenshot, I think they'll make it work for you.
Yeah.
People are just tweeting at us and telling us in the YouTube chat that they're getting in and buying their 5 days, well, 4 days plus preview night. So it seems to be going smoothly so far for people that are getting in.
Mm-hmm. And again, we're only at minute 13. Normally it takes anywhere between, like I just said, 23 to 39 minutes for preview night to sell out. So
let me remind everyone that if you want to ask us a question, the YouTube chat is running. I can't look at that every second, but I try. You can tweet us, which is the easiest way, is tweet us at SD_comic_con, or use the hashtag SDConCast, and we will answer what we can. If it's a duplicate, we may have answered it previously. If it's important duplicate, we will answer it again, as we have been for the last few minutes.
still seeing lots and lots of people who are getting through and being successful. This is always the fun part. It stops being fun here in about an hour. But it's going to be okay, because here's the thing, okay? Even if you do not get a badge today, there is still open registration. So all hope is never lost until after that.
And then it's totally lost.
We have some questions about preview night. First, Luthien asked on YouTube chat, does all of preview night sell out on pre-reg? No, they leave some for open reg.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yes, and that's across the board. Like, even like if you want to go Saturday and Saturday sells out today, there's still Saturday in open reg. Like I said, we roughly estimate that they basically take all the badges and split the inventory 50-50 down the middle and say, okay, 50% of this is going to go to returning reg, 50% is going to go to open reg. So
the other question about preview night is, should I buy preview night? How is it? And that's from Hi Koniko. And then Chris Coughlin asks, yeah, exactly what happens on preview night. So if you have the opportunity to do it and you're going to be in town, we suggest you do it, because it is your chance to get onto the show floor. With the only panels running are the WB pilots or season premieres that air in Ballroom 20. So it's your chance to go on the show floor. If you think you're going to be in panels all weekend, it's a great chance to walk around on the show floor and get all those exclusives.
Yeah, if you can buy exclusives. And then for me, in years past, I really liked watching the pilots. And sometimes you're watching pilots like 9 months before they air or something, which is really, really cool. Finding out.
And sometimes you even get to watch previews for shows that never come to be.
It's true.
Which is also kind of cool, I think.
I remember seeing the Wonder Falls pilot. And between seeing the Wonder Falls pilot and it finally airing, they replaced an entire character with a different actor. That's always fun.
So someone asked again, so preview night is worth it? It's really kind of subjective. It's a really subjective question. Like, if what you're there for is panels, preview night is probably not worth it for you unless you just really care about TV pilots. If what you're there for is the exhibit floor, it might be. If you're a really big TV fan, it might be. But again, this is all entirely subjective and up to you. And it's really up to you if you want to spend, I think, what, $45 on preview night? Like, we can't answer that question for you.
Yeah.
I think mainly for the people who want to do the show floor and go for exclusives, and just for people who want to be able to go all 5 days.
Yeah, it's sort of con light. It's not what you should expect from the typical con. Like, you're not going to get as much cosplay. There's not really as many panels, etc. But you're still getting a little more Comic-Con than you would.
Yeah. So still seeing a lot of people getting through. Preview night is still available, so that's good. We're all just kind of waiting, but it'll be okay.
Someone asked a question about buying preview night, and this is actually something that you can plan for. Is if you get in and you can buy all with preview night, but you want to still be able to help family members or friends get in during open registration, then it might be a good idea just to not buy preview night so that you can participate in open reg.
That's also true.
Strategy.
It's everything about Kamikata strategy and a little bit of luck.
Yep.
Maybe a lot of it of luck.
Let me see if there's any other questions that we should answer here. Questions about Hall H and such, and getting in if you're flying solo and you want to get into Hall H. You can try and find other people who are gathering. I mean, I don't know how many people do that, but yes, it is a good idea to try and find some friends or make some friends so that you can go to the bathroom. Even if it's just the people that are around you in line. Talk to them.
Yes. And I also wanted to mention, because I've been getting this question a lot, like, how early should I line up for Hall H? It is way too early to be able to answer that question, because here's the thing, okay? How early you need to line up, it depends on like a million factors. It depends on what panel you're wanting to see. It depends on what else is in that room that day. Some days Hall H is a total walk-in. Some days it's a like 20-hour lineup. It really just kind of all depends. So it's way too early to be able to answer those questions. But we do a podcast every year, 2 weeks before the convention starts, when they announce the schedule, where we kind of go over all of that information. So if you do get a badge today, like, I know you're excited, but about the only panel we know of right now that's actually happening is Outlander. So it's just way too early to be able to answer any of those kind of questions. So Iron Soul said line up for Hall H is right now. That's the right answer.
Yeah, if you're not in line now, it's probably too late.
That's funny. All right.
2 people from my buying group just got in, so that's cool.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
Now, someone mentioned that Marvel likely won't be in Hall H this year because D23 is the weekend before.
And we got no Marvel last year, right?
We had Marvel last year, didn't we?
They skipped the year before that. Yeah. They skipped 2015, but they were there last year.
Gotcha.
Harry Warrior asked about the regular podcast picking up after WonderCon. We will start the weekly podcast at the beginning of May. We will be doing more specials for Open Reg, hotel sales, and a WonderCon wrap-up.
Yes. And when we say hotels, let me just clarify this. It will not be a live hotel one like this is, because that process takes about
3 seconds.
10 minutes. Yeah, 3 seconds is also accurate. But basically, we'll do a thing after everybody gets their hotel assignments, and we can kind of look at it and go, this was a cluster, just like we do every year.
If it was a bad enough mess, and we may just skip it because it will be just an hour of this went wrong, and this is a problem, and we don't know what's going on, and everybody just bring their sleeping bags.
Oof. I'm just gonna start crying.
So I do want to mention this, because I've seen a couple people who tweeted me about this new system. This is not a new system. This is the system that's been in place since 2014. I still have a feeling that all of the delays this year were due to them trying to implement their own system, because a couple weeks ago, Expo Logic told us that they weren't contracted with CCI this year. There's really no other reason to think like why everything has been so totally delayed. But the system that we are looking at right now is not a new system. This is same old, same old. So still seeing a lot of people getting through. Haven't heard anybody say that preview night is sold out.
But we do have the badge and monitored closely status, which means it's probably getting close.
Yes.
Very closely.
Yes.
Monitored very closely.
Very closely.
Yes. So
I want to buy some badges.
I know, right? I don't think anyone from our group has made it through. We've had some people like from other groups that people are in, but no one from our group.
Yep, looks like a lot of us are going to have to go again in Open Reg.
We're just going to record on the con from home.
Right one for Open Reg.
That's funny.
Both of those work.
Yeah.
They do. All right.
Everyone's
Yeah.
staring
So
at the blue circle.
go ahead. Yep. Everyone's still just staring at their blue circle. So we're still waiting. Still haven't seen anybody who says that preview night is sold out yet. So this is good though. Again, I know it feels right now like all hope is going away, but we've still got plenty of time.
And remember, if something sells out, but you still get in while there is at least one day available, you can try again in Open Reg to get those other days.
Yes, and speaking of which, somebody just asked me, if a friend couldn't get me preview night, I have all 4 days, it was just a misclick. Can I buy just preview night in Open Reg? Yes, you can.
Hey, I don't know if we already recorded this one, but preview night inventory is running low.
Okay. So, yes, so preview night inventory is running low.
That means it'll be sold out in just a couple of minutes.
But like in a good way.
IDs, member IDs are not sensitive.
What is the question?
Are member
Not.
IDs sensitive? We don't think so.
We don't
think so, but don't quote us on that one.
Will not be quoted.
Someone
Good.
Carrie, for the sake of
out.
well, never mind.
Let's find out in the next refresh.
We apologizes, but preview night badges have sold out, is what somebody said. Yep.
Boo.
Oh, indeed. But congratulations, everyone who got them.
Yep.
And remember, everyone, there are 100,000 plus people trying for maybe 50,000 tickets. So there will be people who don't get tickets today, at least half of you. So, and remember that you will then have again an Open Reg. What I was going to mention about getting a ticket, if you get down to the end and Sunday's the only thing left, and then you get in, buy Sunday, because then you can Open Reg and try again. And even if you still only have Sunday, that means you can try again next year to get everything. Plus, you can do all the offsites when you do go to Comic-Con if you're going for the entire.
There is so much to do at Comic-Con outside of like actual Comic-Con these days. Like, you can have an amazing time with just Sunday or Thursday, Sunday, or even like no days.
Yeah, and even though we don't have all the information yet, we know from years past that offsites alone is something that could keep somebody very happy and occupied.
Yes.
If you have a day you miss or just want to go.
So right now it looks like we are roughly on 2015 timing, which means that, let's look here. When did the next one sell out? So it looks like in 2015, because that's about the time we were on, it took Friday and Saturday 39 minutes to sell out. So if I had to guess, I would say we've got about another 10 to 15 minutes before those start selling out. So that's just a guess, though.
Lewis on the YouTube chat asked what after-hours events that we enjoy.
I really like Funko Fun Days. It's a lot of fun, and you get a lot of really cool stuff with it. I've done MTV Party in the Park. I really like that. Nerd HQ is always my #1 favorite. I mean, there's a ton of cool stuff
Yeah, I like even just movie screenings. That's like a fun wrap up to
Yeah.
like a full day of con.
That's fun. Petco Park Interactive Zone, you always have to check that out because they've got a ton of stuff, and that's real quick. You can just kind of walk through there. There's so much stuff. James, what about you? You checked out a couple new things last year, didn't you?
I actually spent very little time inside the convention center itself. I did Conan, which I loved. Went to One Nerd HQ, went to Carnival, and kind of just walked around the gas lamp a little bit, and tried to actually get some sleep at night. So I didn't really do night stuff.
Sleep at night, crazy.
I know, right? So someone has a question, which I just saw, that they said that they chose 4 nights plus preview for 3 member IDs. At the last minute, it got rid of the other 2 member IDs, and only 1 went through. Is it possible that they had already purchased them, or someone else purchased for them?
That's what I would think. I would go check
sense.
with that person and be like, did somebody else get your badge? Because that would be my assumption.
Right.
More people in my buying groups have been successful.
Yeah. Xbox Lounge is a good time, somebody said. Again, there's a ton of stuff. It all depends on what you're into. But we usually on our offsite calendar have like 40 to 80 offsite events listed a day during Comic-Con. So there's always going to be something that you'll be into during the convention.
They added some stuff behind the convention center last year, like the ConX and the Sci-Fi Live and Comic-Con HQ, which you could just go and watch that being filmed, and you could see all the parade of guests and interviews and stuff that were happening just by sitting on the lawn out there in Bayfront. So, I mean, there is so much stuff to do.
There's so much of there's parties, there's concerts, there's stand-up comedy. There's a million things happening. There's like art gallery expos, and you can absolutely find something to do.
Yeah, there's so much. How to get into Conan? Someone asked. We will be posting about that if they're back, which I'm sure they will be.
I'm sure they will.
But
It's basically a lottery.
Comes out. It's basically you sign in, you sign up, and it's a lottery again, where you get picked or not.
This is a funny yellow bar. Attendees are being selected at random for registration session. The possibility of successfully navigating the waiting room is approximately, never tell me the odds. Star Wars on the man.
I have a feeling that was someone's write your own yellow status bar.
Corgi was successful. Yay, Corgi.
So.
Yeah, people are still buying.
People are still buying Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So. Yeah, so all 4 of those days are available. And again, remember, if you do not get a badge type that you want, you can still try again and open registration so long as there's still something left for you to buy, meaning not 4 days plus preview. Seeing lots and lots of happy people, seeing lots and lots of stressed people.
Lots and lots of stressed people.
Mike Becker mentioned on Twitter that there's a Magic the Gathering tournaments that are SDCC scheduled events, but you don't need a badge to play them. So, again, if you don't have a badge for that day, you probably can still go play if you're into Magic. So, I mean, seriously, I mean, you can run down a list of so many things that you can do.
You can just walk around and play Pokemon.
I think a lot of people did that last year, to be perfectly honest with you.
It was huge. The timing was really good.
I still love that panel made it into Hall H. I think that's hysterical.
That is very cool. Oh my gosh, a question about the yellow bars about special characters and names. Do you have a special character in your last name, like an accent, umlaut, or hyphen? Please make sure you enter the special character when you log into your returning registration session. So glad there's no umlauts in my last name.
Again, still seeing lots and lots of happy people.
Andy says, loving your hair, Carrie.
Thank you. I actually took the time to do something other than roll up here in my pajamas.
I didn't.
That's okay. It's a little bit later where I am. For people who don't know, I'm actually not in California.
But I'll ask the question, but why do you edit?
See if I can get on the screen here so I can show
Yeah.
the PJs.
I was telling them the other day, it was real funny. I was at an Oklahoma tourism event and I didn't have my normal business card, so I was having to hand out like blog ones. And people were like, I don't understand.
Nobody does. Nobody.
No. Back to offsites. Kendall said lots of great marketing installations offsite too. Mr. Robot VR experience, Man in the Castle VR, South Park 20. All those are really cool. The VR experience lines can get long.
Yeah.
So make sure you're paying attention to social media during the convention.
And even though it doesn't matter, a lot of those things come with swag. Like I got a Mr. Robot t-shirt with the VR experience. That was cool.
That was cool. I got one too. Still seeing people making through with all 4 days. I do have a feeling that Friday and Saturday, those two usually go around the same time, that those will be going here relatively soon. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. So, but this is good. This is a fast badge sale. It's always better, in my opinion, when it goes fast. Mostly because I don't have to talk as long on this thing.
Not really seeing hiccups, which is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. We had a couple when we first started out, but those we kind of always get a couple. It's only been a couple years when it's been like really bad, but
I'd like to see if or hopefully Lauren's thing worked out.
Yeah, we'll have to go look at that when this is over.
Everybody remember Leapfrog?
Yes.
Leapfrog? Oh God, 2011.
Oh, I missed 2011. Tell me about it.
Oh my God, it was so bad. That was
purchasing, and the site broke instantly, and it was
God.
they had to cancel the sale.
Yeah, I think that's the only time they've ever done that. And then they did like a test sale where they only gave out like 1,000 badges.
Yeah.
I got one in that 1,000 badge test sale. So
that is really cool. Yeah, I'll tell a silly story that has nothing to do with anything. 2010, I think something went wrong with Comic-Con in general for me, and I had like a tantrum and said, I'm not going anymore. And then 2011, I was at home really, really sad, and I learned my lesson. I'm not skipping Comic-Con anymore if I can help it.
So Andy's in. So who do
Go,
we...
Andy, go.
Do you need a badge then?
I do.
Oh.
I know.
I really do.
He said never mind. Maybe he's not in.
Okay.
I'm just staring at the spinning blue circle.
Me too. Last year, if you recall.
Hey,
I
real quick, guys.
Go ahead.
Saturday inventory is running low.
Yep.
What about last year, Carrie?
Hold on. Last year, if you recall, during Open Reg, I made it through like right as everything sold out.
Oh.
So that's always fun. So now we got to keep an eye out for when Saturday will sell out, and Friday is always like right behind it.
Yeah.
I have not gotten lucky yet.
I think that I don't think I have ever actually gotten in to purchase badges ever on the Epic waiting room.
It's been a really long time for me.
I used to. I think Open Reg last year was the start of my slow demise.
Yeah, the Lord Dragon mentions in 2009 and 2010 that you could still buy badges on site.
Yep. I think
do that.
That must have been the absolute end of it.
No, I think 2011 was actually the last year. They were doing both. Like you could buy them on site, but then they also did online sales. And I think 2011 was the year where like if you wanted to purchase on site, you basically had to queue up all day.
Right. You had to go to Manchester or something, or behind.
Yes. And so people were spending like an entire day of the convention lining up to buy badges, and that is why we moved to the online-only sales in 2012.
Gotcha.
Heard plenty of complaints about having to waste a day just to buy badges for next year.
Yep. And I think online sales work. I mean, it's the same general principle of buying right now as if you bought it online or bought it at the convention.
So Andy asked where I got the Supergirl poster. That is actually a WB bag from 2 years ago. That I just put on the wall because I didn't have any other poster frames to put another poster up. So that's my poster.
And you opted not to make it into a dress.
I did not.
You could rock like a really nice WB kilt.
Probably. Yeah, Beth agrees. What was that? You have to be disembodied voice at least once.
So people are still getting through the 4-day badge. So Saturday is not sold out just yet, but it will at any time.
I'm having a heart attack.
It's gonna be okay.
Okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Solidarity. People will see that we all have heart attacks.
Yep. I have the Need Assistance log into your Comic-Con member ID account and use the Contact Us feature.
Me too.
Yeah. I do not need assistance right now. I need a non-spinning blue circle.
You need a badge. Hannah asked, I have a question. Does it affect your randomly selected group if you use a personal registration code from a junior member ID? No, it doesn't matter. And they no longer really do like, I mean, they do use groups. But no, it doesn't matter if you're a junior. It doesn't matter if you're an adult. It doesn't matter if you're military. It really doesn't matter. Let's see here. Do we have any more questions?
After buying a badge, go back to purchase a badge for someone else without losing mine.
If you were the one who made it through to purchase, no, you can't like re-enter the waiting room. If someone else purchased your badge for you and you're still in the waiting room and you want to stay in to try to help someone else, yeah, you can absolutely do that. But this is what we're talking about, how when you get through to the screen that asks you to enter a member ID, don't enter your own in that case. Enter the ID of the person that you were wanting to purchase for.
The question, which goes into a larger question, which is, can I pick up my own badge if someone else purchased my badge? So if you're international, you have to pick up your badge, and it doesn't matter who buys it. You're the one who's going to pick it up. And for those who are in America, local, non-international, they will be mailing your badges, and they changed it this year, and it doesn't matter who purchases it, they will be mailing it to the person whose badge it is.
So long as you are a U.S. attendee. So what you need to do is, it's either May 17th or May 18th, but by one of those dates,
do it in April.
Do it in April. You need to log into your member ID and make sure that your address is correct. Like we said, for international folks, you're still going to be picking up on site just like always. If you are registering a child, that's still going to be on site. None of that's changing. All that good stuff. But yes, new this year, badges will not be mailed just to whoever purchased your badge today, but to each individual person so long as they have a U.S. address and their member ID.
So question from Gabriel, if someone misclicked and only bought 1 day for my friend, can we still buy more days for him now, or does he have to wait for the open registration?
That's actually a really good question.
My guess would be you could, I think you could be successful now, I think. I don't think
I'm actually not sure.
I don't know if the system would tell you no for that person.
What I would do is don't enter their member ID on that very first screen where it just asks you for one member ID and a last name. Enter somebody else's who you know doesn't have any badge. But then on the next one where it asks where you can fill out like all three, try it on there and it'll tell you if they're eligible or not.
And
That's
then
what I would do.
unrelated, Ultra Boy asked, what did I use to cut the WB bag for the Supergirl? And did I stretch it on canvas or just put it in a frame? That's actually just the bag with 2 pins in the arm bands holding it up. And I placed it conveniently where you can't see that. It just looks like a poster.
Nice.
But if you do want to post it onto Canvas, we actually did do a little how-to thing 2 years ago, I think. So you can find that on our site if you just search for like WB bag.
That is really cool. I did not know about that.
Really cool. They look really nice. They basically look like you went to an art store and bought a canvas wrapped piece of art.
Yeah, because it's like that neat canvasy thing. I got nothing.
So still waiting.
Mine just says make sure your computer's power saving settings are off, which
Yep.
at this point, if they aren't, you're in big trouble.
I'm a little surprised that Saturday hadn't gone yet. So I really think it'll be like it literally any second.
It'll coincide with my bursting into tears.
It's gonna be okay.
Everything's okay.
Because what sale do you still have?
Open
Registration.
Yeah, I don't think anyone from our group has gotten through. Like, I mean, on their own.
Yeah, no. Ours is still spinning.
Still spinning. So, again, we talked about all of this earlier. Open registration will be early to mid-April. Presumably, at some point after that, will be hotel sales. Hotel sales worked a little bit differently this year for vendors. And while there's been no official announcement about how it's going to work for the general hotel sale, I have a feeling it's going to be very similar to how the vendors' hotel sale worked, because they also use OnPeak. New this year, what they had them do was they had to put 9 hotels. They had to put 3 hotels in the order that they wanted downtown, 3 hotels in the order that they wanted in Mission Valley, and 3 hotels in the order that they wanted in the other everywhere else. Saturday is sold out, is what somebody just tweeted me.
But it is, so we're waiting to see if anyone has it pop up.
Not yet. Not for me.
So someone was able to get 4-day badges still. So it may be people who are going in now.
Yeah.
The Saturday is sold out, but we'll see in a few minutes. But it should be very soon now.
Yes. But back to
Saturday is sold out.
Saturday is sold out, yeah.
So we'll wait for the message to come up on the next refresh, probably.
Yeah. Because I'm seeing a couple of different people saying it.
Yep.
So back to hotels. After they ranked those 9, they then had to rank like each tier that they wanted in the order. So like downtown, Mission Valley, other. And then they had a whole bunch of issues yesterday with vendors where like people were being assigned more rooms than they had asked for, and just general on-peak funness. There's no word yet on when that hotel sale will be, but we will find out. Friday inventory is running low.
So much so that it is possible you may not be able to purchase Friday badges. Like solo, it might be out.
Yep, I got the Friday is running low.
I did too. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
A status saying that Saturday was sold out. It just went right to Friday's running low.
Yeah, I didn't see Saturday yet. I think they're kind of randomized.
Someone just said that they got in, was able to buy themselves a Saturday badge. So
Well, maybe it's not sold out.
it's possible that, like they said, they're letting them in groups, and now it says someone says Friday is gone. So
Lisa's in.
what the yellow bar says, but it looks like it's definitely going to be sold out on Friday and Saturday soon or now. So fun. Lisa just got in.
Beth, yeah. Does Beth still need anything?
Beth still does. Someone says they just got theirs all days on Twitter. So it's very odd how this is. Some people are
Well,
It could be the 15-minute thing.
Yeah, the 50 is the 15-minute thing. Yeah,
yes.
definitely. So we shall see. Goodness. You good?
Yep. So all that is left now is Thursday and Sunday, but as we say every year, and as we've already said on this podcast, both of those are still great days to go, and you can also always grab those two today, and then in open registration, grab Friday, Saturday, etc., etc. There's a ton of other things to do at the convention beyond just actual San Diego Comic-Con as well. There's offsites, there's all kinds of stuff. So don't feel like just because you didn't get Friday or Saturday, that means that like the convention is ruined. First of all, you have a whole other batch sale. And like we said, there's so much going on. Like, I know there've been a couple of days I haven't gone to the convention, and just because my schedule has worked out where I'm like doing other stuff. Wouldn't you say that's true, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I didn't even go to the convention center like at least 1 or 2 of the days of the con last year. So
Yeah, and you can find
no panels.
Yeah, there's some silver lining aspects. Like if you were trying to decide between this and that, like all of a sudden that day is a perfect day to do Nerd HQ or something.
Yeah, Nerd HQ is a whole nother story with the way their tickets go. So
Ooh, a bunch of people in my group are all getting in like at the same second.
Hey, Ben, go to the chat.
Okay. Ooh. It's possible that someone could be doing it simultaneously, but those are definitely what it is.
Tell her that, not me.
Okay, it's in there. It's in there. I'm like, no, Carrie does all. It's all Carrie. Carrie is Comic-Con.
Some days it feels like I am.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Comic-Con.
If your circle stops spinning, what do? Well, screen cap it.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and wait the 2 minutes and see if it refreshes anyway.
That's what I would do. I mean, I don't know.
What would be the best choice for that? For whether you refresh even though it says not to, or act like it crashed and close it and then just reopen it. I don't know.
That's what, I don't know. I mean, it's a really hard thing to tell somebody what to do, but I personally think you would probably be okay closing it, reopening it, and re-entering.
Yeah, I mean, if you've gotten yourself in a position that doesn't look so good, you probably have to do something.
Right. But again, take a screenshot, take a video on your phone, like do whatever it takes to show them like this is my issue.
Yep.
So again, and I know most of you know this, but we're getting questions. Somebody asked, so does this mean that these days will not be available for open registration? No, it absolutely does not mean that. All days will also be available in open registration.
Someone else.
Thursday inventory is running low.
Oh. Can I buy a badge and not go this year, but enter returning registration next year?
That is the question.
You could do that this year, but they also have a warning at the bottom of the page now that says that they can change the policies at any time.
Yes. So basically it says historically attendees who purchased a badge for the previous year convention qualify for returning registration the following year. However, Comic-Con reserves the right to change eligibility requirements at any time without notice. So before any of you quote RFID at me, please don't.
Ooh, dang.
At no point has Comic-Con International stated that's what they intend to use RFID for. I've seen 5 separate people now who told me that they bought a badge last year, they didn't go, they didn't swipe in, and they're still eligible for returning registration. Stuff happens, guys. So it's not, I really don't think like people are just like buying badges up just because they want returning registration for the previous year. The refund date is, again, it's that May 17th or 18th date that I can't remember which one it is. So that's really early for some people. So like, don't go yell at them. Don't freak out and think that it's like 20% of people, because it's not.
Yeah.
But as of right now, as of this year, if you for some reason can't go, so long as you do not refund your badge, you're still eligible next year. So that's always subject to change. However, if you do get a refund, all that goes out the window. You're not eligible.
Yeah, and kind of on that subject, but off topic, I found RFID to be like totally inconsequential, which was very pleasant.
I'm pretty sure the only time that the RFID mattered was at the very beginning of the day.
Okay.
So only for the first day was it really an issue. After that, they kind of got some of the bugs worked out, and it worked smoother on subsequent days.
Okay, everybody's like GIFs and reaction pictures and stuff are amazing. Good and bad.
I know. So we're getting near to the end here.
All right. Okay. Lisa got you Thursday and Sunday.
Oh, sweet.
Hi, Beth.
Disembodied voice strikes again.
That
Yes.
voice said, "Oh, sweet." So I still
So-
have not gotten confirmation that I've gotten one, but I think like 20 people have tried to purchase mine.
So presumably someone got yours. That's good.
Oh, totally.
This is again why we say that it's really important like to talk to your group. Because if you get to that screen and it asks you like what is the member ID and last name of the person you want to purchase for, and you enter in your own or somebody else's who already has badges, you're out of there.
Yeah.
Do not pass go, do not collect $200, none of that fun stuff.
Be cool, like if you didn't get it and you get $200, it'd be like a good
It would be cool. Can you just like pay me to go to Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Thursday's running low still. Nothing
Yeah.
changed so far. Oh, someone just said in the YouTube chat that Thursday is sold out. So I'm assuming that everyone in now has the opportunity for Thursday, but people getting in now may not have Thursday. So Sunday may be the only day left.
Yeah, mine is still Thursday. Inventory is running low.
I'm just making sure.
4 people.
So 4 people have said.
No.
Yeah, someone had theirs crash. They refreshed and it opened up again and still got through.
Yep. So right now, Sunday is the only day left. Again, you can re-add any of these days back in Open Reg that you were not able to get today. This has been a nice, really fast sale. I realize some of you are not happy, but a lot of you are. Hopefully most of you are. So we've just got Sunday left. It should go here relatively soon. God, it didn't go last year. It's not.
I still have not gotten in, which is the usual. I think I'm on a watch list.
So yeah, a lot of people are saying they're very happy. So Yep.
Yep. I got a message in my group message, Ben, someone has purchased yours. I still don't know what that means, but yay! Small blessings and stuff. So just because we're waiting, what's everyone doing after this?
Cleaning or something boring. Maybe go to Disneyland later tonight. There's something.
I will be writing up the recap to this and drinking. So,
James, I want to be able to say more
the
often.
inventory running low.
Yeah, I want to be able to say more often. I don't know, going to Disneyland later. I like how that sounds.
It's pretty cool, huh? 12-year-old me.
Yeah.
That sounds way more fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
12-year-old me is like, I can't believe I get to go to Disneyland. Basically.
12-year-old you is like, when I grow up, I'm going to be so cool.
I don't think I ever said that.
No.
I was little.
Me neither.
I hope I survive. I hope I keep my hair.
Guys, I think it's over. I think it's over.
Too early to call.
I think it's over. It's over.
It is 9:58 a.m.
Oh, I just got in. That is, wait, what does it say?
Is there anything left, Ben?
I'll try. I mean, I'm only going to be logging in with mine, which I think is already used.
Yeah, it's not going to let you.
Mine says badges have already been purchased for your member ID. Well, now we know.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the end. Less than an hour this time.
Wow.
Less than an hour.
Till 9:08. That means
Yep.
it was 10 minutes.
So we have a feeling that Open Reg will likely be April 8th with the vague possibility of April 15th because they said early to mid-April. And even though the 16th is April, I still am not totally ruling that out since WonderCon was on April for years and years. Hello, dog. Yes. But hopefully you got a badge today. If you didn't, don't forget that there's still open registration where you can try to get a badge. And just don't lose hope. So long as you did not purchase all 4 days plus preview night, you can still participate in open registration. Anyone with a member ID can also participate in open registration. So, ask your friends, your family, your neighbor to all go sign up for member IDs to help you. There's nothing wrong with that. For those of you who made it today, congratulations.
Congratulations.
And for everybody else, there is still hope. So,
wait,
yeah.
So Carrie, is
Yes.
that your on schedule siren?
Yes. Okay. So again, I don't live in California. I live in Oklahoma where we have tornadoes. So every Saturday at noon, they do this god-awful siren to make sure that it works.
To keep you safe.
To keep us safe. It's
That's awesome.
so annoying. But thank you all for joining us today. And we will be starting our regular season in May. We're going to have a couple more of these special episodes before then, including the open registration live sale, the probably hotel recap, the WonderCon recap, all that. Until then, you can also find all the fun information on our site. It's still a little bit early for too much news. But we do have a couple things that we've been announcing lately, like even a panel. Outlander got announced. All of the little news, like artists who are coming, anything like that. All of that's going in our Under the Tents, which we've been posting. We've been posting WonderCon news. We've had a couple offsites. You can also go look at our offsite calendar right now, which has a couple of things on it. What else am I forgetting, James?
Let's see. I think that's about it, right? Everything. Podcast, news, Comic-Con's coming up supposedly in 130 days. I guess we can close it out.
I think so. Okay, well.
Ben, where can we
Yes.
find work on the internet?
You can find more of my work on Twitter at HelloBK. Carrie, where can we find more of yours?
And on Twitter at Carrie Dixon. And if you have found me anywhere else, move along. James, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
I am on Twitter and Flickr and everywhere at Dan Regal, and you can check out geekshotphoto.com for photography from my wife and I. And we are on iTunes. If you'd like to subscribe, the links are up on the blog, or search for SDConCast. If you like what you heard so far, please review us. We are also on Stitcher Radio. The link is in the show notes. If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at sdcomiccon.blog@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/sdconblog, or you can tweet us at sd_comic_con. Thank you all for listening. Congratulations to everyone who got tickets, and everybody.
Go Shawarma!
Go Shawarma! Bye, guys.